Guys, a bit of a serious message here with regards to what everyone's been talking about for a long time, which is this impending recession. There's loads and loads of information here, so I apologise if I'm bombarding you a little bit, and I'm going to give you how to best come through this and the actions that you can take. But I want to give you some indications on why I'm releasing this video now and why I'm putting this out. So I'm not an economist, I'm not predicting, is it Michael, who, I can't remember his surname, who predicted the 08 crash, although he predicted it 3 years in advance and then lost money for then and then made a ton on when the mortgage crisis hit. But I'm going to give you some figures and numbers for you guys to give some thought about and just tell you why I'm thinking about it. But also you can use this in your own firepower to get more motivated, use this in conversations with your clients and your prospects and discussions. But I'll also give you the tool that I'm pushing internally to drive and become outcomes so we can still have the best year we've ever had as a business, beating last year's record, but also we can continue to grow. But for you guys as individuals, you can begin to think, okay, this is how I'm going to get through this and this is what I'm going to do. So from a lot of people I listen to, a good indicator was we have seen in the current times the candidate being king. Okay, and we want to work in environments like that because then our clients need us to be able to go out there and find it, and talent shortages, etc. US record talent shortages, UK I think are exactly the same. So we want to work in those environments. When things go soft, more candidates come on the market, clients can fill their searches easier and therefore don't use as much recruiters. The market doesn't grow as quickly, less vacancies, etc., etc. So it's just more competition out there and therefore less opportunity to do deals. So one of the big triggers of seeing when candidates become less king is seeing this. We've seen a shift since post-COVID of the work from home environment. We've seen a lot of business leaders do that because they want talent, because they want to run happy businesses, and they don't want to lose person because we tell you to be in the office. We've seen this in recruitment, we've seen this in all sorts of different industries, and it's still a hot topic. We've seen it move to 4 days for some businesses, etc., etc. So what we look at is the big firms and what's starting to happen. Started, albeit you could argue that this was because Elon took over Twitter and wanted to reduce the cost base because it was a loss-making business, but it started with Elon pulling everybody back in. And saying, look, Twitter cancelled. So we saw a little bit about that. This is, 12 months ago now. But now I'm not talking about that scenario. What I'm talking about is real life scenarios we're starting to see now as businesses start to look forward. And these are big organizations with big balance sheets, with good cash sat underneath them that started to make big decisions. The first one is we're starting to see that shift in dynamics from candidate king to employer king. In recessions, what happens is there's less jobs, too many people searching for jobs. Clients, companies have the power. In non-recession environments, like we've seen, candidates have the power, and clients, companies are trying to get out there to try and attract talent. And I'm going to show you why I'm thinking about that fundamental shift. I'm not saying we're in a recession right now. I'm not here to tell you that X, Y, and Z. I'm not beyond my knowledge. They'll tell us when we tell us with the BBC that ruined everybody's lives. But that's what we're going to see. So that's why I'm trying to talk about that shift. So Apple have now enforced 3 days a week in office, and they've put it out due to the promotion of more collaboration. Apple have an enormous balance sheet. So just to give you perspective. Oracle, as they put it, as the article I read, forcing employees back to office due to what they've put as competitive error and collaboration needed. GE are pushing a return to the office mode. Amazon has just rejected an internal petition for 30,000 Amazon employees have signed against a return to the office due to need for collaboration. So just clarify, they've rejected that petition and they are moving back to return to the office process. The US labor market has reported that 72.5% of businesses said that their employees teleworked rarely or not at all in 2022. Now that in comparison with 2021 was 60.1%. So we're starting to see that shift in dynamic, which is, to put it into perspective, that's 21 million workers. And the belief in that is that the recession is driving that need, and companies and now starting to take a little bit of that edge off and beginning to look at recession, and therefore we have a little bit more of that power. Companies don't want recessions, they want growth, but that's what we're seeing. Saw recently as well on Pat David podcast was that the S&P, there's a potential starting to predict predictions on stocks, but they're starting to predict a downward trend. So the S&P currently sits 3,900, 4,000, whatever, and potentially dropping to 3,500, maybe even 3,200. So again, all indicators, that especially is probably one of the looser ones. So Meta is now pushing less work from home. Walt Disney is now pushing for 4 days on site for all employees. And then we're starting to look at the big numbers. Essentia, a white collar, well-educated individuals, management consulting firms, not the top ones, not McKinsey, BCG, etc., but talking well-educated executives, just made 19,000 jobs redundant. These are highly educated workers. This is a management consulting firm and a global firm at that. Amazon to cut 18,000 jobs. Salesforce to cut 8,000 jobs. Meta to cut 10,000 jobs. So we're starting to see that move. Now, some of those, and a lot of those firms, whether you'd argue that Amazon's a tech company or not, obviously Amazon Web Services, but most people know Amazon as basically the consumer delivery and marketplace type environment. But the tech market has taken a significant hit. The tech market has struggled over the last X amount of time, the last 12 months, certainly in the stock space. We're expecting to see some reducers there to try and drive share prices back up and obviously drive costs and everything else, which I won't bore you with all that detail. But what I'm saying is we might as well be prepared for something that's coming. We might as well look at what's we seeing in the market and how can we drive it. Now, all I'm saying is for you is for you to be prepared that this is going to be a hard slog. Royal Selection will be growing during this process. Royal Selection will continue to hire. A lot of recruitment firms are going to make redundancies. So to give you some perspective, I don't know which firm you personally work for, but Michael Page reduced headcount in 2008, 2009, the last big major recession, not including COVID, which was a supported environment, furlough, etc. Government printed money. They reduced their headcount by 24%. That's nearly 25% of the workforce. Hayes reduced their headcount by 20%, and Heidrick and Struggles reduced theirs by around 20%. Adecco reduced their headcount, and on and on and on with the big boys. So you may not work for a big boy sound, but I also know recruitment firms will look at culling a little bit of the herd. I know you go through difficulty. I know when we went through COVID, there was lots of firms around Leeds that also reduced. So if you're a Leeds recruiter, let's get your head down now to make sure you're not going to get hit by that. Let's focus your efforts on increasing your billing and increasing your value within the organisation to ensure that you're not going to be under any level of threat. I'm sure if you're watching this anyway, you're probably good at some level of recruitment, or you're just starting and you're looking to develop your skills. So what's my one piece of advice? I'm going to give you two pieces of advice. One, work hard, invest in yourself, develop your skills, improve yourself, etc. All of those bits that you're probably already doing when you're watching these videos. Point two, which is the real piece of gold. Product is king. So good candidates will get you fees and deals, will get you opening the door. So you've got to work, you've got to find good candidates, work them incredibly hard, introducing them to potential employers, reaching out, lots of BD on email, lots of BD on calls, lots of BD via LinkedIn, using all different methods to get good candidates into potential employers. And that's an important step. Please get good product, take it to market hard, and work very hard on that to win business, because that's what other recruiters are going to be doing. You just got to do it earlier to try and win a couple of those clients, which you hope will still be on some level of growth trajectory through a recession, need replacements, need support, critical positions, and you can then ride it out. The recruiters tend to do well are ones that have been in the industry for a very long time and have a lot of contacts, a lot of knowledge, and therefore they'll ride it out to some level. They may not build the same level because they may not be as proactive, but they'll be supported in that environment because they've got a lot of relationships and a lot of people that come to them. If you're not in that situation, you need to be out there and you need to be banging on doors and proving your worth and really hitting things hard. So please just work candidates incredibly hard, get them out to competing in similar businesses. Don't just send a bloody CV of the candidate. Get the prospect on the phone, position to them like we have in the other training methods, and check them out if you haven't seen it, on how to search out that opportunity. If you're confident and comfortable, you've watched the training videos on Retain, get down that level, start pitching retainers, and start trying to therefore prepare yourself and protect yourself against what is coming. Good business is great. Good businesses will fire through this. Good organizations will hire through this. We are hiring. If you do get made redundant, if things go badly for your business, if you're questioning over your business's security, please reach out to us at Raw Selection. I'd love to have a conversation. We are absolutely prepared for this, and we're in a good spot to grow through this by bringing on really good quality talent and supporting our existing recruiters to be able to build more. But the message I've sent this morning is an early warning shot, which is something I've been talking about for quite some time, probably at least a year, 18 months, with regards to this impending recession. They happen every 10 years. It's been a long time. Well, 2008, 2009, 2023, other than COVID, which was obviously not a financial crisis, as a pandemic, we haven't had it, so it's got to come. We've seen the post-COVID boom, we've all had a great time, and hopefully you have earned some good money during this. Now's your time to knuckle down, work your candidates hard, and make sure that you are well protected going into what could be, and I believe will be, some difficult times.